Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, you're listening to World Combat Sports. What is good? It's Friday, and hopefully everyone is doing just great. You know, it's another episode of WCS Media. Today is going to be a catchweight episode 732. You know what it is? Catchweight means it's going to be all about boxing. But damn near at the end, we can probably talk about what's going on in the mixed martial arts sector or whatever the case. I usually don't like cross-threading, but, you know, sometimes things change. It's all good. Chain TC in the building. Salute to you. H Money Mr. Zone in the building. Go check out his channel. What's good, everybody? I just want to say this fight card, there are several fight cards that's going on this weekend. I'm going to touch bases on all of them. If you take a look in the description, I have the fight cards there. Primarily, the top ranked card is the one that I have in full. And the PBC, you know, it's a very light card. So I only put the main event and the co-main event. Shawn Porter versus Sebastian Formella and Nathaniel Gallimore and Sebastian Fundora. And of course, I want to kick this off with Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin. And the co-main, it's on there, is Katie Taylor versus Delphine Persoon. So you know what it is, people. JC in the building. What's good? What's good, everyone? What is up? So, of course, the big talk is Dillian Whyte. The big talk of the town is Dillian Whyte. He gets to step in here and you know, face Alexander Povetkin for this long-awaited interim WBC. You know what I'm saying? For the right to face Tyson Fury. That's what the talk is about. The talk is about Dillian Whyte getting in there and facing the one and only Alexander Povetkin. But there's a common denominator in both of these fighters. Outside of them competing in the same weight class, it's something else that goes along with their resume also in their history of the sport. And we know what that is. These two have been repeat drug chiefs. I'm gonna give it time to pop on the screen. As you see it right there, heavyweight doping cases, y'all. The heavyweight doping cases include Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury, Luis Ortiz, Alexander Povetkin, Jarrell Miller, and those type of guys. Eric Molina. Most of these guys are on Anthony Joshua's record, you know, as opponents and everyone else. These are considerably two of the main heavyweights that have tested positive for PEDs in the past. So what does that mean exactly? That means I get to come in here and roast their ass, you know, in a good way. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, this shit right here, with these two facing off of one another, it couldn't be more so a blatant frame of where boxing is at right now, especially in the heavyweight division. We have two people that have been known to be drug cheats in the boxing community, but yet they're here about the fight for the right to face Tyson Fury for the WBC title. Now, I don't like bringing up Deontay Wilder too much every time the heavyweight division comes up, but I have to. Because Deontay Wilder hasn't tested positive for anything. He hasn't tested positive for anything. But out of Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte, and Alexander Povetkin, you have three heavyweights that have all tested positive for PEDs, and they're still actively boxing. Not only active boxing, they boxing for a championship. They boxing for the right to go in here for a title shot. Now, what's some of the people? Let me start on the resumes of Alexander Povetkin and Dillian Whyte. You know, Dillian Whyte is 27-1 right now. All right. Alexander Povetkin, I believe he's like 35-2. The only losses of Alexander Povetkin is to Vladimir Klitschko, and most recently in 2018, he lost to Anthony Joshua. All right. So you spin the wheel and Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte may be 27-1, and his only losses to Anthony Joshua. But check out who he's been in there with. The likes of Anthony Joshua. That's his numero uno name. You know what I'm saying? And then he moves up. You have fighters like David Allen, Robert Helenius. Who else he fought? I believe Lucas Brown, Derek Chisora. You know, names like that. Oscar Rivas, Joseph Parker. He's been in there with those type of names. So we all know where the controversy lies in Dillian Whyte. The controversy is that these two individuals get a drug waiver for this particular fight this weekend. A drug waiver. After these two have been accused and closely related to drugs in their boxing career. Not only that, y'all. Once again, this is for the right to face Tyson Fury for the WBC. If he gets past Deontay Wilder. So these two individuals gets a drug waiver, which is known to happen over there in the UK. It's known to happen. They were saying it was therapeutic, but yet it was a way for them to get past certain guidelines and regulations that you can't get past over here in the US. We heard the deal with him and Oscar Rivas, right? Y'all heard what happened. Just so happened David Blaine walked by and took a piss in the urinals, and he made Dillian Whyte B sample disappear. You know what I'm saying? David Blaine is known to be one of the best street magicians in the game. And just so happened he was in town that day and stepped in there and said, I got to take a piss before I do my next trick. Boof! Goddamn Dillian Whyte B sample disappears. And then all of a sudden his memory goes too, because Dillian Whyte, he didn't even use his gloves that him and Oscar Rivas had agreed to. He was just forgetting shit all over the place. Let's check out my man, Alexander Povetkin. He has only 3 losses. He lost early in his career, and then he lost to Vladimir Klitschko and, of course, Anthony Joshua last year, September 22nd, at Wembley Stadium. And we all know what went down as to why that fight happened the way it did. It was post-negotiations for Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua when they finally announced, hey, he signed a 2-fight Wembley deal. And I'm like, well, how all of a sudden he has a Wembley deal and you were saying that month wasn't open when Deontay Wilder then was requesting it. But anyway, we'll get back to that. Who has he stepped in there with? Alexander Povetkin, believe it or not, to be a drug cheat, he's been in there with some pretty respectable names in the heavyweight division. He's been in there with Hasim Rothman, Vladimir Klitschko, Manuel Char, Mike Perez. He's been in there with the likes of Johan Duhaupas, Hughie Fury. He's been in there with Carlos Takam. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua. He's been in there with some top names, man. And Michael Hunter. And now he's stepping in there with Dillian Whyte. But Alexander Povetkin is a known drug cheat. Believe that. Even though he has 2 losses with 2 champions, that doesn't negate the fact that these guys play dirty. It doesn't negate the fact that Dillian Whyte is still relevant after what he did in the Oscar Rivas fight. It doesn't make it okay to sit up here and support 2 individuals who's just been up here cheating their way to the top. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it has to be spoken on because now they get the opportunity to fight for a championship, even though Alexander Povetkin is a repeat offender. It doesn't matter who's on his record. He's a repeat offender when it comes to performance-enhancing drugs. And we need to take that in consideration when we dog out our U.S. champ who's been clean the whole time, and he goes in there and compete against the best. But yet you got the neighboring fighters, they're able to get away with murder. They're able to get away with any fucking thing they want. Shout out Lolo getting that win tonight. Ace Boogie in the building. Salute to you. My guy, what's good? Dillian, PED Dillian. He got Miller Ross for fist though. If you're talking about Alexander Povetkin, regardless of the drug offenses, you know, he is a reputable heavyweight in the game. The only thing about it is, check this, he is old. All right, Alexander Povetkin is up in age. All right, he was 39 years old when he faced Anthony Joshua. He's old. But look, I don't hear no one in the groups and all this other shit, people being motherfucking hemorrhoidal irritated. You know what I'm saying? They hurting shit when you try to tell them, like, how can y'all be up here saying Dillian Whyte facing Alexander Povetkin like it's a respectable opponent, but yet Deontay Wilder faced Luis Ortiz, and y'all try to say the man's 60 years old. Alexander Povetkin is up in age too, man. He's been around for quite some time. He's not young in the game anymore. This is not, look, Dillian Whyte, to be honest, Dillian Whyte should go in here and get the job done. You know what I'm saying? He should go in here and make it interesting. He's been in some wars, man. And I don't see either of these fighters going the distance. Now, what's their commonality in the sport besides watch? The bigger name, the bridge that brings them two together in opponents is Anthony Joshua. You want to know what's even more unique? Is that both of these cats were stopped in the 7th round. Both of them. How? How, Sway? How can you both be stopped in the 7th? How? You couldn't do anything different? You couldn't come in there, you know, powered up like Mystical? You know what I'm saying? You couldn't come in there with a whole different damn mindset. You had to goddamn be taken out in the same round? That is the commonality. Dillian Whyte was able to face Anthony Joshua before he had the belts. Alexander Povetkin was able to face Anthony Joshua while he had the belts. And also the bigger platform, Povetkin faced Anthony Joshua in Wembley Stadium. And everybody was just, you know, bloviating this spot as a place to be over there. And Wembley is nice. I'm not going to lie. That's the same place where Joshua faced Vladimir Klitschko, okay? So therefore, these two get the opportunity once again to do what they do, and I can really care less who wins. Period. I'm be honest. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, okay, Dillian Whyte, I want you to win, or Alexander Povetkin, I want you to win. I really don't care, because either way it goes, I think Tyson Fury beats both of them. I think Deontay Wilder defeats both of them. So I really don't care who wins. I just wanted to highlight where we at right now in boxing, and some of you all shouldn't be so disappointed on how boxing rear its ugly face. It's a dirty game. It's a very dirty game. But we're about to get ready to cook, though. Let's get the PBC, Premier Boxing Championships. They got a pretty decent main and co-main event, shawty. They got Nathaniel Gallimore and Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian, the towering inferno Fundora. What's crazy about this, right, is that Sebastian Fundora is 14-0 and 1. He only has 9 knockouts, but the dude is 6'5". He has an 80-inch reach. 6'5", 80-inch reach. You saying to yourself, damn, that motherfucker tall. Okay, he is. He's going in there against Nate the Great, Nathaniel Gallimore. Nathaniel Gallimore been in there against Julian Williams, Patrick Teixeira, and most recent, Erickson Lubin. You want to know how that all meshes good for Nathaniel Gallimore heading in here with Sebastian Fundora? He hasn't been stopped in his losses. You know what I'm saying? That's the good thing about freaking Nathaniel Gallimore. He's 21-4 right now. His 4 losses, he's never been stopped. That's the good thing about it. Sebastian Fundora, he's undefeated, like I said. But I want you to check out some common opponents that makes Nathaniel Gallimore perfect for this fight. All right, let's go through some of the schematics. You know what I'm saying? The formats, the protocols is going to make this fight pretty interesting. Jermonte Clark, he only had 1 loss heading into that fight with Sebastian Fundora. He's only 6'2". But Jermonte Clark had a 73-inch reach, I believe. 71. Whatever it was. No. I take that back. Let me back up. Jermonte Clark had an 80-inch reach. Jermonte Clark was shorter than Sebastian Fundora. He was 6'2" with an 80-inch reach. But Sebastian Fundora is 6'5" with an 80-inch reach. Jermonte Clark boxed beautifully in that fight. If you ever want to see a fight where you want to take and understand how a shorter fighter goes in there and fight a taller fighter, watch that fight. Watch Jermonte Clark versus Sebastian Fundora. He did everything he needed to do. When he wanted to close in and fight on the inside and keep it close and land his combinations, he did. When Fundora was pushing forward, which he does, he's not afraid to fight on the inside. Guess what? Jermonte Clark backed up, boxed off the back foot, cut his angles right, pivot out, really didn't get caught up against the ropes too much. But it was pockets in the fight that Jermonte Clark was up against the ropes, and he allowed Fundora to work. In the end, he fought a beautiful fight. I was hoping to have him on this evening, but the appointment wasn't made, man. I wasn't able to get it done. It's touch and go with that. But I was going to have him talk about his fight with Fundora because they're building Fundora up to be someone special in that division, the 154-pound division. They are. They want him in that title contention really quick. So they're building him up. But I'm not finished. I just started with Jermonte Clark, right? Because he was the one that provided the initial fabric of the blueprint on how to beat Sebastian Fundora. He was shorter, 6'2", but with an 80-inch reach. So you're saying to yourself, well, Fundora has an 80-inch reach, but he's 6'5", right? He should have had more of advantage in that fight, right? Look at Daniel Lewis, Whyte fighter. Daniel Lewis. No, you know what? Nathaniel Gallimore is actually 5'11", come to think about it. He's shorter than Nathaniel Gallimore is shorter than me. Yeah, 5'11". But check this out. Daniel Lewis is like 5'10". His reach, comparable to the 80-inch reach of Fundora, his reach was like 71, I believe. This dude had a 71-inch reach compared to Fundora's 80. And he still touched Fundora. He still touched him up. It's the way you box. You're talking about a guy who's 5'10" and with like a 71-inch reach, and he was able to get on the inside. He had a game plan not to stay on the end of Fundora's punches, but to get on the inside so he can land his punches. So what he did was somewhat Fundora with the longer 80-inch reach, he kind of, wanted to smother his punches a little bit on the inside. And look, I had to give him credit. It was a goddamn entertaining fight. I said, where the hell this dude come from? 6-0? You're going in here against a 6'5" opponent and you 5'10"? And when they faced off, right? You're looking at these dudes facing off and the referee's giving instructions. I was like, oh, this dude about to get his ass whooped. Nope. The sweet signs was in full effect. From Jermonte Clark to Daniel Lewis and now Nathaniel Gallimore. Jamonte Clark is actually taller than Gallimore. I kind of got they, heights mixed up, but I think Jamonte Clark is 6'2" with an 80-inch, and then Nathaniel Gallimore is 5'11" with a 73-inch reach. Nathaniel Gallimore is right in between that nomenclature that provides a good matchup from Fundora. He may be shorter than Jamonte Clark, but he still has a 73-inch reach. And he still has a chin, and he hasn't been stopped. The one fighter that I knew heading into that fight with Sebastian Fundora, I actually knew him. I've been in his fights. I covered him and everything, and that was Donnie Marshall. Donnie Marshall had the wrong game plan against Fundora. He tried to go punch for punch with him, and he really didn't change his position. And Fundora had his way because he was able to make changes, land his shots. He didn't see too much of a reaction of changing anything up from Donnie Marshall. He started hurting Donnie Marshall, and he ended up stopping him in the third round. And Donnie's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, man. Shout out to Donnie Marshall, man. Fundora stopped him, though. That was a big fight for Marshall. But when it came to Jamonte Clark, he should have won that fight, but they gave him a draw. They robbed him. It wasn't Rocky Roly robbery. Rolling, rolling, Rolly on a robbery. It wasn't that. But it was freaking robbery in my eyes because he wasn't the champ. Sebastian wasn't the champ. Jamonte wasn't the champ. And they was going in there contending. Jamonte should have got that win. He should have got that win. With 73 inches, 6'2", he should have got that in, that win, because he did what he had to do. Daniel Lewis, not so much. Daniel Lewis was a shorter fighter, and he lacked the reach, but he was able to have a solid game plan to get on the inside. And guess what? He didn't put away enough rounds to persuade the judges to give him the decision. What's going on, Rob? Salute, man. They do a lot of Royce in the UK. I have seen it with my own eyes. All right. So you in the UK? Okay. TC, yes, but unlike Luis Ortiz, Povetkin was a champ before and been in there with the best and didn't have to go to the ICU for high blood pressure during the camp. Hey, check this out, TC. I'm gonna be nice about your comment. What in the heck did that has to do with what I'm saying? I was comparing ages. So you're trying to explain that a drug cheat that held a title is more proficient in convoluting the analogy that I made with someone talking about ages of Povetkin and Ortiz. What does that has to do with anything with high blood pressure medicine? Did you not see Luis Ortiz on the list? Let me put it back up there. Let me put it back up there. I'm putting it up there for you. I'm putting the receipt up there. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Luis Ortiz, third one. Bam, it's gone. Come on, TC. It had nothing to do with what I was saying. I was comparing ages. Povetkin being old when he fought Joshua in 2018, and Luis Ortiz when he fought Deontay Wilder twice already. All the people were saying how old he was, but yet Alexander Povetkin was old when he faced Anthony Joshua. That's all I'm saying. Hey, TC, TC says, oh, that Povetkin is a lot better than Luis Ortiz. We won't know that because they haven't fought one another. The only two losses on Luis Ortiz's record is Deontay Wilder. The two losses on Povetkin's record is Vladimir Klitschko, which is respectable. Hall of Famer, legend. Shout out to him and Vladimir and Vitaliy. Okay. And then Anthony Joshua. So you have to look at who's been in the ring with who and how they fight. But yet, Alexander Povetkin do not have a win over Luis Ortiz, and Luis Ortiz don't have a win over Alexander Povetkin. So when it comes down to it, we don't know who's the best between them two because they haven't fought. We all know Anthony Joshua. They didn't want that smoke from Luis Ortiz back in the day. They wanted to stall him out for money until the point where he ended up popping and the fight was off and he ended up, going in a different lane. He didn't want that Luis Ortiz work. Anthony Joshua would have got his feelings hurt again. Again. You think he spit his gum shield out against Andy Ruiz? He would have did the same exact thing in early rounds against Luis Ortiz. Come on, man. Did you see the punch Luis Ortiz landed on Deontay Wilder? Dude has some power. It would be a good fight. It needs to happen soon. You know what I'm saying? Luis Ortiz loses to Deontay Wilder twice. All right? Check this out. Check out where I'm going with this. Luis Ortiz loses to Deontay Wilder twice, even though he was stopped both times, okay? We can take the same matter of fact, Alexander Povetkin in 2018 getting stopped by Anthony Joshua. He was stopped. Why are they fighting for number one in the WBC to face Tyson Fury? Because boxing can maneuver whoever they want, especially in the WBC, the lane of the WBC, they can do what the fuck they want. 305, what's good? What's good, Deacon? Heard you on the PC the other night. Salute to you. But they can do what they want over there. They can pretty much do what the heck they want by maneuvering these guys into high-ranking positions to be qualifiers to fight for a title. That's what you're seeing right here. Alexander Povetkin comes up in a draw, and then he automatically look. Both of these guys come off controversial, so to speak. Not so much Alexander Povetkin, coming off on his last fight the way he did, right? Just having a little draw. But we're talking about Dillian Whyte. Why should he be rewarded for always being a part of controversy? He's always a part of some type of controversy. But yet they're about to fight to see who fights Tyson Fury. If indeed he doesn't make it, if indeed he makes it past Deontay Wilder. That is the whole situation. Don't believe anything else that you're hearing in the media that, Deontay Wilder pulled out of the fight, or, he planned on taking step aside money. Wait till certain information is validated and confirmed before you put it in your pocket and run with it. Because a lot of people are trying to ride this fight off in the media for the to persuade people not to support it. But the fight is going to make money anyway. The good thing about it, it's in December. It's in December. So we have several months that's waiting for this to even come anywhere close to fruition. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere close. But anyway, Dillian Whyte, Alexander Povetkin, it's going down. And whoever wins puts them in position to face the current WBC champion, Tyson Fury, if indeed he wins his trilogy against Deontay Wilder. I'm looking forward to Deontay Wilder to get his motherfucking title back. That's what I want. Now, back to what I was saying. Shawn Porter and Sebastian Formella is basically going down this weekend. The awkward part about Shawn Porter, who is a two-time champion, who actually fought amateurs at around 165. The awkward part about him is you see him on TV all the time. He's talking, he's commentating, he's putting on the entertaining fight. He had the FOTY, against freaking Errol Spence. Not too many people was talking about this fight with him and Sebastian. Not too many. Nothing. And that just goes to show you when the good guys out there, Not too many people talk about that shit. You know, Shawn Porter's the good guy. Real talk. Okay, back to what I was saying. Shawn Porter. It's a lot that's going on in the welterweight division. It includes Shawn Porter. That's not a bad thing. Shawn Porter's the dog at the end of the day, right? Shawn Porter's one of those guys who has lost the top competition and people still respect him. He went in there and lost to Keith Thurman. People still respect him. You know what I'm saying? He went the distance with Adrian Granados. People still respect him. He went the distance with freaking Adrian Broner. People still respect him. You know what I'm saying? He went in there and defeated Danny Garcia, and people like, okay, Shawn Porter still got some shit left in him. You know what I'm saying? He still got some, got some work left in him. We like that. Then he went in there, with Yordenis Ugas before that, and people was like questioning, is Shawn at the end of the chain, right? Because we pretty much think Ugas won that fight, but that was just the game plan not to show too much. It was a very smart game plan with him and his father, Kenny. Very smart. They just didn't want to show too much. Seriously. So the game plan, he went in there with Danny Garcia. He was in and out. He didn't use his brawling type style. He didn't stay inside all the time and stay close and go to the body and make it dirty. He boxed. And then he came inside and he landed some pretty hard shots. Danny Garcia landed some hard shots. Shawn Porter took it. And he was able to put away the rounds. The great thing about what I liked about Shawn Porter is that he showed for once since Julio, what's his name? Julio Diaz, he showed that he is not just a brawling fighter, man. He can switch it up. He has discipline. When people start to think they figure out how Shawn Porter is going to bring it, he switches it up at the right time. So that's what Danny Garcia bought. That's what Danny Garcia experienced, right? So he won the WBC title, go in there and fight Errol Spence in what was a very phenomenal fight, all the way to the final bell. But the one little part that failed Shawn Porter was his brawling style, for which he needed against Errol Spence, caused him to get the knockdown in the 11th. Sometimes you can be your worst enemy at certain points. But for Shawn Porter, he was so used to succeeding with that style, he felt the Errol Spence size and the way he boxed, because Errol Spence does get hit, it was the perfect style for Errol Spence. So, man, that fight could have been fight of the year. Superb. But that knockdown ended up giving to Spence, right? So he's 33-1. He's lost to Kell Brook. All right. Lost to Keith Thurman. And he lost to Errol Spence. And people still respect Shawn Porter for being a dog in the fight. All right. Now he faces an opponent that's not even close to Errol Spence, not even close to Danny Garcia. I wouldn't even say this opponent is close to Adrian Granados. I'm talking about the one before he stepped in there with Danny Garcia. This opponent not even close to Keith Thurman. This Formella dude is 22-0 with 10 knockouts, and all he is a bloviated soft touch. That's all. They built him up real nice. He has 10 knockouts, but no one believes he has what it takes to go in there. No one believes he has the equalizer to go in there and stifle Shawn Porter for this upset. No one believes that. Formella is just going to go in there and potentially he might get stopped because, for one, he doesn't possess extreme punching power or respectable punching power, because Shawn Porter has proven that he has one of the best chins in the game. One of the best chins in the game. Regardless of him getting dropped by Errol Spence, he still has one of the best chins in the game. What else is he going to try? He's going to try to box on the outside? No, because we need to see him for consistent rounds be able to resist Shawn Porter's pressure. Shawn Porter has some of the most aggressive style that you would even think about stepping in there with. And then you don't think Sebastian Formella, who said he sparred with Yordenis Ugas, is feeling some type of way? Listen, the man went in there and got sparring and got that work with Ugas, right? Just for a week. Just for a week, people. He was able to go in there against Ugas, the same guy who Shawn Porter looked bad against. So they say that's how boxing works. Y'all have to understand. Just because a boxer loses to a certain boxer, right? That doesn't mean he still doesn't have value, because that particular fighter remembers. You know what I'm saying? Ugas remembers how Porter was. He remembers. So, you know, him going in there, getting some work with Ugas, a fighter that did very well against Shawn Porter. I'm curious to see how it works. What game plan do they have? Because a week of sparring, in my opinion, is not enough to face Shawn Porter. That's not enough, man, for that dog. Let me hook this chat back up. .305 said, truth be told, we're talking about three cheats. Yeah, you're talking about Fury, Alexander Povetkin, and Dillian Whyte. I agree. But I didn't go too much in Tyson Fury because he's not even the talking point right now. Tyson Fury, I would take too much money grilling that motherfucker. I'll take too much time heating the charcoals, turning the gas up on his ass. That's a whole nother topic. But you're right. We are talking about three cheats. We are talking about three cheats when Tyson Fury, who is a current WBC, and then blend in Povetkin and Whyte. Absolutely. TC say Ugas beat him more convincingly than Spence and didn't get the nod. That I agree with you with. TC, I agree with you on that. Yordenis Ugas, in my opinion, had an easier go with Shawn Porter than Spence did. But you also have to factor in, and stylistically, the offensive strategy that Shawn Porter fought that fight. Shawn Porter fought differently against Ugas than he did with Spence, with EJ. Two different fighting offensive strategies that was implemented from Shawn Porter. And look, Shawn Porter fought Danny Garcia different. He fought Ugas different, and he fought EJ different. He fought every one of those opponents different. Seriously. He fought them different. Even the Adrian Granados fight, the way he was sitting in there allowing Adrian Granados to close distance on him, he fought him different. It was still a little brawling style, but he wasn't as smooth as he was with Errol Spence. Like he was turning Errol Spence off the ropes. It's a lot of stuff Shawn Porter was just doing so smooth that night. I was like, damn, Shawn Porter in there dancing this tonight. He's looking like a different Shawn Porter that's been in there working and grinding in the gym. I'm telling you, Shawn Porter looked very good in that fight, displaying his boxing skills, turning Errol Spence whenever he felt like it, landing some solid shots. He did hurt EJ periodically through that fight, but when it comes down to the brawling style, what? You have to protect yourself. Floyd Mayweather said it best when he knocked the fuck out of Victor Ortiz when he headbutted him. He said, you know what? It's protect yourself at all times. Even though Victor Ortiz was trying to make it, he was trying to make it right. He was trying to apologize. He know he lost his cool. And I'm not going to veer off the subject too much, but I'm trying to say that shit like that happens. You know what I mean? Like when you're in the heat of the moment, shit happens. I just wish Shawn Porter just would have slipped underneath that left hook from Spence. That's all. I just wish he just would have slipped that. And then I wanted to see what the results going to be. If he would have just slipped up under that left hook, what we could have did, because Shawn Porter finished the fight strong. I just, Floyd Mayweather said it. He said, it's protect yourself at all times. So that means basically Shawn Porter should have had that damn right hand up. But in the midst of throwing his combinations, being aggressive, Errol Spence showed in the eye of the storm, his visual is still clear. And he was able to land his telling shot and get the decision. But no one's talking about this fight, people. No one's talking about Shawn Porter stepping in there with Sebastian Formella. And the dude is 22-0. Look, he about to get a body. Shawn Porter about to get a body. And no one's going to care about it either. No one's going to say, oh, Shawn Porter got a 22-0 on his record. No one cares. But people don't say I didn't tell you. Shawn Porter is still ranked #1 for the WBC after losing to Errol Spence. I already said this before. How is that possible? How can you be ranked #1 and you lost? Who else is in line? DSG? Oh, DSG. He's going there, the fight in the comeback. In the comeback fight for Errol Spence. So he gets some praise too. Because look, Danny Garcia lost to Shawn Porter, who lost to Errol Spence. But Danny Garcia is right up there behind Shawn Porter. That just goes to show you, man, when it comes to these sanctioning bodies, don't put too much emphasis in these ranking systems. Do me a favor. Don't put too much emphasis in this shit. Because when the WBC want a motherfucker to move to the front of the line, they will do it. When any sanctioning body wants to move somebody up and make them the #1 mandatory, they can do it. They can do it. Let me show you something right quick, people. Let me show you something right quick. Just give me a moment. I'm about to share this screen right quick, people. Let me show you something how this shit works. Now, let me put this in the middle. Now check this out. Look at this right here. Just look at that. I highlighted. That is the welterweight division, one of the hottest freaking divisions in the sport of boxing. Right? The hottest. Spence was the IBF title holder before he faced Shawn Porter for the WBC. Right? So, out of all these top names, from Ugas to DSG, Mikey Garcia, Keith Thurman, you know, Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter, he don't get any type of love if you saying, okay, this used to be the IBF champion before Kell Brook took the title. Shawn Porter sitting all the way down here, people. He's sitting all the way down here in ninth for the IBF. But getting back to the task at hand, check this out. Sebastian Formella is basically above Shawn Porter only because he has a 22-0 record or something with 9 knockouts he haven't lost. Seriously, or whatever criteria you're trying to make. Shawn Porter has reigned twice in this division and faced some of the best opposition. And he's sitting behind in IBF standing for what? It can't be just from losing to Errol Spence Jr., y'all. But this is what I'm trying to explain. How can you have a not rated up here at number 2 and Sergey Lipin sits at number 3? It makes absolutely no fucking sense at all. How can you have Shawn Porter over here, WBC, Danny Garcia? Okay, both of these guys right here has lost, fighting for the WBC. Danny Garcia when it was vacant, Shawn Porter when he was reigning. Mikey Garcia, we know he's just coming off Jesse Vargas. We understand that. Goes over here, Yordenis Ugas. Yeah, he lost to freaking Shawn Porter, but he's still qualified. I'm talking about a big name. He's still a top quality opponent. And there you go, Danny Garcia, number 2, and Mikey Garcia, number 3. Looks familiar, people? Looks familiar? It looks just like the WBC, WBA. It looks damn near identical. But the IBF, it gets a little bit impaired. What the fuck is going on over here with the IBF, though? And then look at Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is the number 1 contender for the WBO at Terrence Crawford, which that shit, came close to being made. And you have Virgil Ortiz at number 2. Now let me break this. Let me get up out of here. So back to what I was saying, people. Virgil Ortiz is ranked number 2nd in the WBO for Terrence Crawford WBO world title. Do you believe this year or next year Virgil Ortiz is ready to step in there with Terrence Crawford? The way he looked in his last fight, do you believe he's ready to go in there and face Terrence Crawford? Do you believe he's ready for Danny Garcia? The answer is absolutely not. What's going on, Pettis? Salute, man. Yeah, I said Clash of the Needles. Shoot, you know, they was touching them up and toasted. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Lawrence? Salute to you, man. What's good? I think Porter wins, but he can't be lazy in there because Formella moves and play defense a lot. T. Jordan in the building. Say salute, WCS. Salute to you, man. Hey, Lawrence, I don't disagree with that. But also, you astute to boxing. You understand how much a dog Shawn Porter is. This Formella cat can move, but you trying to tell me at 22-0 with 9 knockouts, he's going to stay on the outside and box Shawn Porter? The Shawn Porter that we're hoping mirrors the Shawn Porter energy that came in there against Spence. The one we're hoping, we shouldn't have to hope because Shawn Porter's been on this stage before. Shawn Porter knows how to perform on the biggest stage. Shawn Porter is proven he's that guy. Shawn Porter is proven. If Formella stays on the outside and be able to box somebody like Shawn Porter without Shawn Porter getting on the inside, the only thing he can do is smother him and hold him and prevent him from getting off once he does get on the inside. But look, how is that going to last? You know, with the tenaciousness of Shawn Porter, how much cardio, you know, we done seen Shawn Porter break down fighters. Just coming in there consistently, cracking the door open in your chest, forehead, forearm, everything Shawn Porter can use, man. He's the only boxer I know was born with a helmet. Shawn Porter uses every object possible to make the fight dirty. And for him to sit on the outside and let Formella just move around, sweep the perimeter, and throw his jab, work behind his jab, and whenever he feel like it, man, if Shawn Porter allowed that to happen tonight, he need to go ahead and move up to 154. Because the higher the divisions you get, it's not like the fight is getting faster now. The higher you go doesn't mean the speed increases. You know what I'm saying? The higher division, the slower the punches. So he might do better at 154 if he's going to allow this dude Formella just to move around and sweep the outside. He needs to move up in the division to where the punches, you know, they heavy, but, you know, they slow down. You know, the footwork slow down a little bit. But Shawn Porter, that's tailor-made for him. You know, he came into this professional ranks at 154 and then dropped the welterweight. So that's cool. He even fought 165 in the amateur, so that's cool. That's cool business, you know? But he need to go ahead and handle work with this cat. He need to go make this happen for him. You know what I'm saying? Eleider Alvarez and Joe Smith. So Jess Hart, right? You know, everybody was talking about Joe Smith, Jess Hart. You know, Jess Hart was coming in there, you know, for the honor of Bernard Hopkins because he didn't like how Joe Smith did him. He felt Joe Smith did him dirty. Hey, in the camera, it did look like he did it dirty. That's B-Hop we talking about. You know, B-Hop all outside the ring and everything. I'm like, damn, the shit didn't look good. It wasn't as bad as Jaden Codgerton. All right? If y'all follow your boxing. It wasn't as bad as Jaden Codgerton. One of the most brutal knockouts you will see. I still remember to this day. To this day. To this day. Bernard Hopkins bumbling around on the ropes. He lived to talk about it. But at the time of Jaden Codgerton, we didn't know he was going to live. When Allen knocked him out, it was brutal. The man's wife was on the ring apron. The dude, hey, Codgerton, he was asleep. When I tell you he was asleep, almost similar to Amir Khan. Almost similar to Amir Khan. But Codgerton was asleep. He looked like he had no life. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Joe Smith steps in there with Eleider Alvarez. The important part about this fight is that Eleider Alvarez was in there with Sergey Kovalev, and he was able to defeat Sergey Kovalev at his high moment. Cool cat. Very low-key man. Good dude. And can fight. In the rematch with Sergey Kovalev, he lost his title. We all seen what happened. But recently, he came off a fight with one of ATL's own, man. Did my boy dirty. Salute to Michael Seals, man. You know what it is. Much respect. But I'm media. I got to talk about it. So Seals was you know, he wasn't blackballed from boxing, but there was a point in time where boxing kind of like looked at him sideways a little bit because he was DQ'd in a match where the referee warned him to stop punching while his opponent was down, and Michael Seals continued to punch. So they felt some type of way about it. They was like, damn, you know, maybe he's out of control. Maybe there's something else that we're not getting with this dude. Maybe he ain't fit to be here. But it was a long road for him to build himself back up to where he was at. And I was I'm not saying I'm proud. I was proud of him. I was extremely happy for Michael Seals to get in the recovery lane. So his recovery worked himself up, man. He was landing. He was like on a 2-fight knockout streak before he stepped in there with Alvarez. Y'all seen the fight. It was on Top Rank. I've been up there. Shout out to Felipe Boxing. Shout out to Carlos Jackson, all them cats. He stepped in there with a former world champion, and the fight was going pretty decent up to the 6th round. The 6th round, Michael Seals was hurt at the end of the round. He was hurt so much to the fact that, you know, he was unsteady on his legs. And I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I was like, God damn, I don't think you have enough time to recover. So the 7th round, the bell rings. They go in there, they start boxing. And in that round, Alvarez continued to land the overhand right the same way he did in the previous round. But this time, he knocked Seals out and sent him to the canvas. Sleep. This set him up for this fight right here. Whoever wins this fight between him and Joe Smith will probably put them in line for a title shot, from my understanding. Joe Smith, you know, he has less experience than Eleider Alvarez, but it should be a damn good fight. Both are pretty decent, and it should be a pretty good fight, man. That's all I can say about it. It should be a pretty good fight. I really thought and expected more from Alvarez when he stepped in there with Kovalev the second time. And speaking with Buddy McGirt on the elevator, y'all seen the vid, right? I asked him, I said, so what was something that you thought you had to change? Because he was the trainer for Kovalev on the rematch with Alvarez, right? He said, I wasn't there for the first one, but I'm here for this one. And he said, I told him he needs to get back to the basics. That's what he needs to do. Kovalev, get back to the basics. So we worked on the basics, and he looked good. Kovalev looked good in there. So seeing Kovalev go in there and defeat Alvarez and get his title back puzzled me when he went in there and lost to Canelo Alvarez. Absolutely bullshit, man. You don't have to be drunk to, man, even if you was freaking, you know, getting right, your thought process will still say, you know what? Something ain't right with this motherfucker. Kovalev going out in the 11th against Canelo Alvarez, all wobbly and noodle leg. No, we calling bullshit on that. Not the way I seen Kovalev fight against Alvarez. I'm like, he's better than that. He could have made it to the 12th round. He could have performed better. Not sitting up there getting all wobbly legs and then going down in 11th and allowing Canelo to take your belt. Bullshit, dog. On the undercard, we have Rob Brant and Vitaliy Kopylenko. But one of the fights I'm putting out there for you to watch, he's making his much anticipated debut, man. Duke Ragan, he's fighting Luis Alvarado. You know, this is going to be in the featherweight division. Keep an eye out for that cat. And, you know, Wendy Toussaint is first in versus Isaiah Jones. That should be a good one, too. But the one, of course, if you looked at the fight card and followed my lies, people, you know when it comes down to it. My boy Clay Collard still on the run, goddammit. Clay Collard versus Maurice Williams. All right? Clay Collard is one of these freaking stories where this dude had been stopped and people's like, you know what? You should just stick to mixed martial arts. You shouldn't even come over here and try out boxing. But this dude has been on a freaking tear, man, and he's exciting to watch. I do think with an 8-2 record, right? He only had 3 KOs now. It's not like he's going in here knocking heads off. But when he was stopped by Berktamir Malik Kazayev in 2019, people was like, man, that ain't good. You know, because he was coming off a lot of draws. He's coming off like 3 draws, man, and a loss. And then, you know, he had 3 wins, and then he got stopped. But most recently, Kajardo, TKO, Kaminsky. Y'all all saw what happened to Kaminsky. Kaminsky was his look, this dude was 19 years old, undefeated. Clay Collard gave him his first loss, man, beat him up, made him wear the fight. No, he was 19-6-0, undefeated. Won a split decision, which was BS. He beat that dude. And then Laurent T. Nelson, TKO. Now he's stepping there with a 7-1 Maurice Williams. That's going to be a good fight, y'all. That's going to be a damn good fight. That's going to be an excellent fight. I ain't going to lie. What y'all think about that card, man? I know y'all don't really care about Dillian Whyte, Alexander Povetkin, but what does it say? Oh, let me get to the last one. Katie Taylor, 15-0. Going in there against Delphine Persoon, 44-2. 10 round in a rematch, of course. We all know Persoon won that first match. We understand that. We all know she won. But they gave it to Katie Taylor, which was a bit sickening to me because, you know what I'm saying, she looked like she was hyped up to be this big star, and they was trying their best to prove that she can hold that armor that they was putting her under, and she just couldn't handle the payload. Persoon gave her the business, and she should have won that fight, but she didn't. Okay, let's get down to some nitty-gritty on some important shit, right? You remember when Regis Prograis was supposed to face Maurice Hooker? Then the pandemic swept in. I was really looking forward to that fight. Maurice Hooker coming off a knockout loss. Regis Prograis, you know, he went in there, lost to Josh Taylor. Both of them took pictures with swole ass eyes. To my, hey, how is boxing consistent of defense? You know that old Martin shit right there, you know. And I'm saying to myself, like, I really want to see this Maurice Hooker Regis Prograis fight. I do, but it never maturated, right? And then the pandemic pretty much shut it down. So whenever the talks resumed to even make a bout, they was trying to say Maurice Hooker wanted Regis Prograis to move up to 147. And Prograis like, hell no, I ain't ready to move up to 147. We agreed on like a 143 or catchweight or something like that. You know, to just get our feet wet. And then, you know, it was all said in the media that Hooker was trying to deflect from what was in the contract and didn't want to stick to it. And, you know, the good thing about it is that the pandemic pushed back their fight. So I don't know what happened in the war room, but the fight wasn't made. So now Maurice Hooker is signed with PBC. Both of them are fighting 2 different people now. Both of them are fighting 2 different people. It's people out here saying, oh, can Maurice Hooker be next in line to fight stablemate before Terrence Crawford? And I'm saying to myself, what the fuck are they talking about? Stablemate means someone who is training in the same location, in the same tool, on the same gym or school with you, right? Sometimes media just make you say, shit, this is the moment where you need to shut the fuck up. They was trying to say, will Maurice Hooker get the shot at his stablemate before Terrence Crawford? I say, so are they talking about EJ? Do you actually believe Maurice Hooker is ready for Terrence? Errol Spence? Stop it. Just stop it. I know they sound alike. I know if you was to call them up on the phone, you couldn't tell freaking EJ from Maurice. I know that. But y'all media need to stop trying to put these fighters in a position so the media can lock onto it and these fighters go get hurt. Hooker's coming off a stoppage of Ramirez, a legitimate stoppage. Why would you move him up in a weight class and try to put him, say, well, will he get a fight against his stablemate? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Regis Prograis is set to step in the ring against Heraldez on the Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz undercard. You know, Regis Prograis is still trying to find his way into the bright lights. So he's on the PPV. He's going to be on the main card. And he's stepping in there to face Heraldez. So, of course, I have the time. Let's pull up some receipts and try to do some comparisons of what Regis is stepping in there. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday. I know y'all got shit to do, but we're going to talk about this for a minute. So let me pull up Rougarou. "25 fights, 24 wins, and 20 knockouts. Of course, with one loss, and that's to Josh Taylor. So just give me a minute to try to pull up his stats right quick. So there's really nothing they have out there just yet. Let me go in here. They don't have nothing on this fight out there just yet, official. But it's out in the media as being the next opponent he's going to face. So let's get to this dude. Progress 24 and 120 knockouts. They fighting that junior welter, of course, because Regis didn't want to move up. And his opponent is 16-0-1. You know, he's getting another older work with. So we'll see how that all works out. Progress had one fight left on this promotional deal with the Bella, but they amicably, this is what I'm talking about earlier, between him and Hooker, amicably agreed to a buyout of the Bella's last bout. That means he came out the pocket. That's why the fight didn't happen, which has to have been the April fight with fellow former titleist Maurice Hooker. Before that fight was canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic and them not rescheduling. Excuse me. When Hooker wanted to increase the weight to 145, which Progress would not do. So if I'm not mistaken, I thought it was a little bit higher than that. If you're talking about 143 to 145, I'm like, damn. But pounds do matter in boxing, you know what I'm saying? Because you increase to 145. You know, some people consciously it's set on their mind and they can't be comfortable. So, JC say facts. They say we had some conversations about signing him. Top-ranked Vice President Carl Moretti, of old boxing scene, we just couldn't come to an agreement. And I guess they just preferred to take the other offer. The other offer was a buyout. And I'm not sure what it was. It's not going to disclose that in here. But it's good Regis was able to release himself from that. Because sometimes it doesn't work out that easy. It couldn't have been that much money to get up out of that. It couldn't have been that much, I don't think. Or, Regis might have it pending for his next fight to pay them a certain percentage. You never know what the contract is going to say. If Ramirez and Taylor retain their belts, Top Rank plans to match them with each other for the undisputed championship. So let me get this right. If Ramirez and Taylor retain their belts, that's either or. They planning on matching Regis to fight for the undisputed. No, hold up. Disregard that. Disregard my last. I didn't even finish reading it. It said championship, which means Progress will have a long wait before getting a shot at the world title again. So that makes sense. Ramirez and Taylor, they've been talking about, unifying, but nothing's out there yet. So Regis is definitely going to have to face his opponent now and then think about either whatever else he has to do at junior welterweight, or I guess one time in a place that he was talking about moving up to 147, but I'm glad he didn't, because in my opinion, Regis is just a little bit too small for 47. It's definitely good for him to would have wanted to face in between, but he didn't want to go up to 145. I know that's 2 pounds off welterweight, but he didn't even want to go up to 45. He didn't even want to do a CW. Regis understands he's too small to just bump up there like Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? It's levels. Mikey Garcia came in 140 from 35 and fought Sergey Lipinets and bounced. Mikey Garcia bounced. Guido, what's good? JC said Progress was talking all day-ish before Taylor fight. And after he got smashed, he's a different dude. You're right, JC. They was taking pictures, all lovey-dovey. Both had swolled up. Their eyes was talking and shit to the camera. You don't do that. Me and Progress have a little history, man. I guess he felt some type of way about some type of analytics that I was giving on him. And you know what? It was true. It proved to be true. We have a little bit of history. Fighters, sometimes you find out some fighters are very sensitive. And they don't understand that, yeah, you're the one stepping in the ring and all that. But we have the luxury of being on the outside and assessing and giving our opinion on something. Whether you absorb it as fact, that's you. But when it comes down to some of these fighters, they'll sit up there and say, why you say this about me? Why you say that? And especially before it actually happens, they get all mad, agitated, upset. And then when they go in there and the shit happens, they don't even want to talk to you. You hit them up, you send them a PM. Hey, man, can I holler at you for a second? I just want to talk, see if you want to talk about what went on in the ring. That's all I was saying. Regis know he needs to work on his defense. Regis know he gets hits a lot. He knows he get a hit a lot. And I said that before the Josh Taylor fight. But how he came and gave me that type of energy, I'm like, it doesn't even make any sense, man. You being a little bit soft, in my opinion. You represent New Orleans, baby. But then I sit up here, I'm just saying some shit that actually came into light, not just from the fight he had with Josh Taylor, but you can look back at his previous fights on how Regis get touched up. Some people don't like to take constructive opinions. I'm not going to say constructive criticism, because I couldn't criticize him for shit in the Josh Taylor fight before it happened. I was giving a constructive opinion. You know what I'm saying? And some people might say, well, how can you give a constructive opinion? It wasn't meant with malice. I was just saying for what I've seen in previous fight, constructively, Regis Prograis get hit a lot. And he's not the fastest fighter out there. So he would try to take punches to give punches. But shout out to Rugaru if you're watching. Man, this game is crazy, bro. Like, damn. Guido said, what's up, World Combat Sports? Man, what's good with you, bro? Thanks for dropping through. It's media history, man, with me reaching out to him, his mom, you know, conversation, this, that, and the other. You know, some people do, man, I'm not even going to put it out there. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, man. Because to me, if I put this shit out, no, that's like violating the code with media. I can't put it out there. I ain't messy like that, man. When I say we have a history, I ain't capping. You know, if I say I got a history with somebody, it's a history. I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna fuck you up, JC. I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna fuck you up. I even have a history with Katie Taylor. If I was to go into detail about Katie Taylor and what she did, it'll make you damn think, damn, these motherfuckers are sensitive. But yet they wonder why they don't get any exposure in the media. When you got somebody, not all of them are sensitive, but some of these fighters are so sensitive, they wonder why they don't get exposure in the media. Outside of them having a fight, no one really talks about them. But check this out. When it comes to the female boxing, most of these female boxing, they want to talk to the higher tier media, but they don't want to talk to the main, like the medium, the new media that's down here on YouTube and stuff, unless you got all these bogus ass followers and views and all this shit, right? Not knowing that you can boost up your views, you can boost up your followers. That shit don't matter to me. Get them how you get them. But when you are sitting at, let's just say 50,000 subscribers, but yet only 300 people are tuned in on your lives, what percentage is that shit? So when it comes to Katie, some of these fighters, man, they want to talk to certain media that's out there with all these big numbers who really don't want to show them attention. But if that person decides to think that they are going to have a big fight, they say, hey, get the people on the line. Go call so-and-so up. Let's see if we can talk to her. And then they're sitting around digging in their nose, you know, flicking and shit on the wall. Hey, so-and-so want to talk to you. Oh, for me? Oh, it must be about my next fight. But see, I was already doing that shit before you even had the fight. I would say, hey, can I have an interview with you? Can I talk, blah, 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 how you doing? I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to stop it. And they sit up here and wonder why they don't have equal pay. I could get into a whole nother situation with how women boxing is behind women's MMA. Women's boxing is behind women's MMA. Facts. I want a female boxer to come in here and debate that with me. Debate it with me. Why have y'all been in existence longer than women's MMA? And you all are trailing them. You're trailing them. Now I'm going to tell you one big fact on why they're trailing women's MMA. Because they fight 3 rounds, 5 minutes apiece, which comes up to 15 minutes. And in championships and co-main events sometime, women fight the same as the men. 5 rounds, 5 minutes apiece, totaling 25 minutes. What's going over here in women's boxing? Why y'all still on 2-minute rounds? And the highest round set, the highest rounds that you all fight, the ceiling is 10. Why not 12? Why not give you the extra minute? Why haven't y'all banded together and go up into the front office and say, we're trying to get equal pay? In order for you to get equal pay, guess what? The standards have to be equal. The guys in mixed martial arts, they're not sitting up here talking about the women anymore. Like when they was only fighting 3 rounds. The women fight with the same gloves. Yes. They fight with the same gloves the men do. They use the same skill set as the men do. The only thing they do is wear a top into the ring. They fight the same amount of rounds, the same minutes, everything. Fight for the same championships, every fucking thing. But the women, boxing, they still on 2-minute rounds. But you want equal pay, it's not going to happen. You have to first improve the standard. The standards have to measure up. The men's standards have to measure up with the women standards for 3 minutes a round, and championship fights 12 rounds for championships, not 10 rounds. And everything else that they have that doesn't equal up to the men's, period. So, no doubt, but are you guys in good terms of 50-50? We all right. We all right. It ain't personal. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, H, has Lolo start fighting yet or not? You got to understand, with media, you have to communicate with people. And certain people, they just don't want to take the time. Not all of them, but some don't want to take the time. I can't say all because I've been able to interview some people just off calling them up and email and being patient and everything. So it's not everybody. It's just some who feel like they are entitled. They feel like they pick up a belt. Look, they pick up a belt, and the higher freaking media, the top tier media people, the networks, they only call them up, even when they're a champion, if they're fighting somebody important. But if you have new media call them up sometimes for some of these fighters and say, I would like to get an interview with you. Do you have time? They, the one, don't touch back with you. They don't touch bases back. When they do, they say, where are you at again? And you tell them where they're at, and they go look at your numbers. They say, this cat told me, right? Well, what is your reach? So when they ask you what your reach is, they're trying to say, what are your views like? People need to stop worrying about the views and just understand, like, if I'm able to get you one more person of exposure than you had before, then appreciate this shit. Don't sit up here and say, well, hey, what is your reach? I'm sitting up here getting the feedback from this guy, and this is very small amount that I get with his pushback. His fighter that I know, I hit him up for an interview. He's going to tell me, where's your, what's going on? What is your reach like? He was the one that mentioned the reach, right? So I say, what does that matter with anything? I just want to talk to your fighter since he's heading there and facing this particular fighter. I kind of know both fighters. I want to kind of get both of their freaking input on the fight coming up. So I said, okay. He came back. He said, I'll check and all that. I said, no, never mind. Because all the fighters I've interviewed, you can't go check my channel and say, okay, he's interviewed that many fighters. You worrying about reach. So guess what? His fighter goes in there and gets stopped. His fighter goes in there and gets stopped. I'm not capping. His fighter goes in there and gets stopped. Believe me, I didn't, I'm not petty like that. I'm not saying, okay, can I get an interview now? Hey, those wrenches in the chat, man. if you see some people coming in here, you know, talking about the interview I did with Gary Russell, all it is just Gary Russell haters. It comes with the territory. Don't time them out. I mean, time them out. Because all they're doing is I'm making their ass do homework. Because they come in the live chat and say the same thing. They come on a, you know, a different name, and then they want to talk about, man, we can't sit up here and hype on what Gary Russell been doing. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's gonna like who you interview. But I guess there's some people out here that feel some type of way and they want to jump on here over and over again. Drop messages, private messages, pull up in your DM, they'll hit you up on Facebook and all this other shit, all because of stuff that you said. I didn't say anything bad in the interview. They just feel some type of way about Gary Russell, and that's not my problem. That's really not my problem. But for the people who he's been calling out, they may have an issue with it. Like all the beef is going on with Terrence Crawford. That don't matter to me. I ain't worried about that shit. I'm doing what my job is. I appreciate getting the interview from OG like Gary Russell being in the game and his family. You know what I'm saying? All that. So, you know, what's going on with these cats? I already blocked 2 of them tonight. They just feeling some type of way. You know, I want to tell them that, hey, we're not on lockdown no more, man. Go to the local store and grab that Vagisil. You know what I'm saying? Grab the Vagisil and goddamn hook it up, man, if you're irritated. Don't keep on creating accounts all pissed off, you know, cussing at yourself and shit. Say, let me jump back in the live. Man, this is everyday shit, man. As your channel grows, people get all upset and want to come over here and think negative comments are going to do something to the channel. It's not. Rita, what's good? Salute. Okay. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? They come in here feeling some type of way about one interview. You know how long it took, you know, to go through the process of meeting with his people and all that. You know, shout out to my boys Jackal Fitness, AWD, man. Salute to you. You know what it is. The realest underground kings in boxing media over there in NYC. Salute to them, man. You know, you got to hook up with some OGs in the game, man, and get in touch with some of these cats. Else you ain't. I'm doing all this shit on my own. But anyway, let me move on, man, and not get off topic. I wanted to talk about the Miguel Berchelt situation that was going on. Miguel Berchelt situation with Oscar Valdez, who moved up. Finally, he getting his shot. That fight is almost done. It's close to being done. That's going to be a done deal. And, of course, the one that may lie and wait for the win is Shakur Stevenson. They're moving him up. So he may indeed get that shot at the winner. But Oscar Valdez, he rates a shot with Berchelt, former champion. He rates it. I'm not mad at him. Because what y'all need to understand about boxing, right, is the fact that you can be a champion in another division, and you don't have to. Somebody was up here arguing with me in a group talking about, oh, you need to work your way up. Shit, if a fighter was leaving the division as a champion and had to work themselves through the clutter of the next ranking division in the next ranking system in a higher division, nobody make any money. It'll take 3 fights for them to make money. It's all about improving your competition. It's not all about this bullshit with, oh, you need to climb the ladder. According to who you are and what you've done in the sport, you ain't gonna have to climb the ladder. It's proven. Mikey Garcia moving all around doing what the fuck he want to do. Vasily Lomachenko moving around doing what the fuck he want to do. When all these cats from 35 move up to 40 and they was champions down here at 35, guess what? They're going to move to the head of the line. That's what's going to pop. You put some fresh faces in the mix of some fighters that's already been there, according to how popular they are and what they was able to do at the last division, they get moved to the front of the line. Look at the former champion Sergey Lipinets. He's at the front of the line. It all depends. I'm waiting for these guys at 47 that's sitting around waiting on the title shot. I want to see some of those move up to 54. I really do. I want to see some of them go up to 54 and challenge Mel while he's there. If Mel and Maul ain't going to fight, we'll leave social media alone and stop verbal sparring so much. We need to see somebody challenge Patrick Teixeira. We need to see somebody challenge any one of them title holders that's over there. Seriously, we're seeing the Jason Rosario. Okay, we got it. I'm talking about the new ones that's on their way up for 47, and then the ones that's moving up from 40 to 47, and then the 35ers to 40. I want to see some fresh faces so we can see some competition. It's too many fights out here for these boxers not to be fighting one another. Seriously. And then we got kind of like a carousel, so to speak. You know, we got 30, 35. We got fighters that's saying, okay, I'm big enough to go to 35, but small enough not to venture into 40. So I'm going to hang around in 35 and move back and forth. You know, Lomachenko doing that shit right now. You know, he's going to hang around 35, then drop to 30 and go back to 35. And then mark my word when I fucking tell you this shit. Mark my word, people. Remember and put the bookmark in this shit. When the right names move out of 40, Lomachenko going to step up to 40 and try to get a title. He's going to try to do the same shit Mikey Garcia is doing. But I respect Mikey more because he's up there with some killers. Seriously. But watch what I tell you. Lomachenko is going to try to infiltrate at the right window, just like he did coming out of the Olympics. He's going to try to move into boxing right at the perfect moment in his mind and pick up a chip. He's saying right now he's too small to go up to 40. Wait till some of them faces move. It's too much going on at 40 right now. It's too much. He don't want to be a part of that shit right now. He don't want to be a part of it. He know it's a problem. He know it's a fucking problem. They're about to unify up there. It's nothing Lomachenko can do. But get a unification, you know, kind of see where Regis fit in that shit. Let the belts fragment, you know, when the undisputed fragment or whatever, because right now you have two fighters who hold two apiece. So once them belts loosen up, watch what I tell you. Lomachenko is going to try to move up to 40 at the right time. Now, the only fucked up part about it that a lot of people may look at, they're going to say, well, Devin Haney is going to be up to 40 by then. And Teofimo Lopez is going to be up to 40 by then. Absolutely. But it depends on what sanctioning body they are part of. Who's going to have the more prestige and favoritism moving up to 40? Lomachenko. Now, it's all about if he move up to 40, who he's going to be able to duck to fight for a title. That's all that is. Because he's the franchise belt holder. So he's going to be able to maneuver himself into the right position to try to get a title. I'm telling you, man, they're going to try to get Lomachenko fourth division. Mark what I'm telling you, people. They're going to try their damnness to sneak him in through the door. And it can be when Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez move up to 40. Because you got 4 sanctioning bodies. So when they move up to 40, they're going to put them in certain positions so that Lomachenko don't have to deal with them. If Lomachenko don't fight Devin Haney at 35, is he going to really try to fight him at a heavier weight and he's a smaller fucking guy? You know what I'm saying? It won't be the same with Teofimo because he's basically fighting him this year. So they're not going to fight each other at 40. But if Haney doesn't get the opportunity at 35, when they move up to 40, guess what? If Lomachenko bring his ass up there, they're going to be like, hey, I didn't get this work at 35. Let's do it now since you're up here. Lomachenko, no. I need an interpreter. What he talking about? I understand what he's saying. He talk about what? I don't understand. What? I don't. He's gonna try to play that no English. What is Haney saying? He's doing all these gestures or whatever. What is he saying? He want to fight? Yeah, it's plenty of people to fight, but not me. I have other things. That's Lomachenko. They're gonna try to play dumb. All of a sudden, he don't speak no English. Watch what I tell you, people. He's saying he's too small and he don't want to go to 40. He don't want to go right now because there's some fighters up there that'll fuck him up. So he want to wait to them, those two fighters, Taylor and Ramirez, they move up to 47. Okay, Prograis, when it comes down to it, right? I just told you Prograis get hit a lot. Lomachenko has pretty good foot movement, but I still think Prograis has more power. But it's gonna be telling in this fight with Teofimo Lopez on how Lomachenko does. If he wins, I'm telling you, man, Lomachenko is going to try to sneak in the window of 40 at the right time and become a 4-division champion before he gets out of the sport. The same shit they doing with damn Mikey Garcia. They trying to get him a motherfucking strap. Seriously. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, keyboard sparring, all day, every day. It's keyboard sparring. I call them screensavers, man. The screen save their ass. They feel good. Castro, what's good? Same thing Canelo doing now. Castro, man, Canelo disappointed me so much, man. And you're absolutely right. It's exactly what Canelo is doing. Perfect. Before I even touched on Canelo, I didn't want to go too far off, but I covered everything I wanted to cover. But when it comes down to it, you're absolutely right. Canelo Alvarez is pretty much contaminating people's mind, sort of like Floyd has done. And Floyd hasn't did it in a bad way, all right? Floyd has contaminated the minds of boxers who are trying their best to live vicariously through him. What I mean is they want to make the money. Floyd says it all the time. You want the money, but you don't want to do what it takes to get the money. He was willing to do what it takes to get the money. Floyd has made it a standard to say, put every effort into being undefeated, staying undefeated. Put every effort to making money, much as you possibly can. Get to a point where you can start making those decisions and pick who the fuck you want to fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Floyd was up here cherry picking. Floyd's resume is respectable, absolutely. Not the last fight. I ain't talking about with Tenshin Nashikawa. I'm not talking about the exhibition. I'm talking about with Conor McGregor. If you're going to break a record as one of the best boxers of this era, man, stick with boxers. Come on, man, because that's no different than freaking who can I attest to that? What example I can make? Let's talk about shit. Lyle Alvarado. Y'all remember Lyle Alvarado? When he stepped in the ring? Shit like that. Big ass Lyle Alvarado. The wrestler, the Japanese wrestler that stepped in the ring with Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? He's up there kicking Ali. When Ali is a boxer. When you have all these freaking cross threads. But anyway, Floyd Mayweather have fighters believing that money is everything. And when money is everything, some fighters want to say, well, I want to negotiate higher. I want to negotiate my worth. I got to set a standard. So they feel they got to make millions, but they don't want to do what it takes to get it. Like, I'm pretty sure Floyd had to get on the phone. He had to be in meetings. He had to make sure once he was released from Top Rank, he provided maximum effort to build his brand up to the highest tier to start, boosting him. Even when he stepped in there in the B-side against Oscar De La Hoya, that was a process of him building up his shit, people. And look at him. Billion? I mean, come on, man. The highest paid athlete from where Floyd came from? His daddy cool as a fan, man. Listen, I don't know if y'all ever met him, but I haven't been able to talk to Floyd at all. But his father, Mayweather Sr. cool as a fan. You see that man walking. I done seen that man on several occasions. He would walk in. I said, "What's going on, Senior? How you doing?" He'll sit there and talk to you. He was in there singing in the media room with another guy, man, singing some old school tunes, man. That's the shit that bring boxing together. You know what I'm saying? Where we come from. When you see people that's on the highest level, them box, they with a high profile son as he is, and he's as low key down to earth, sitting up there singing with us, freaking talking boxing, all that shit. It's just unfortunate he had to step in there with Charlie Z, and that motherfucker nutty as hell and sucker punched him. You know what I'm saying? But for his age, he still got a damn quick ass jab. But anyway, back to Floyd. Floyd changed the game for the fighters. He has fighters out here thinking they got to make all this damn money. They got to fight like him to make the money. No, you fight like yourself and you get the wins. You increase your level of competition. You go into the fight conditioned. How do you get conditioned? You work your ass off outside of the damn square the right way. That means staying disciplined. That's going to be one of the pluses when it comes down to these fighters that's moving up. When it comes down to the Devin Haney's, who's been around Floyd Mayweather. Right now, he's one of the most disciplined fighters in the sport at that weight and in boxing, period. If you believe that it doesn't matter, you're absolutely wrong. If your body is absolutely used to discipline when it comes to eating healthy, drinking water, getting out there and training, it's not going to help you stepping in the ring with a fighter who's not putting in the same amount of effort, if more than you are. It's going to help. Believe that. It's going to help. And you might not see a lot of it right now with him, but once he starts moving up and the more demand of him at the higher weight classes, that's where you're going to start to see him move forward better than some of the fighters who haven't been taking care of their body. That's when you're going to see the progress. You know what I'm saying? The durability, the progress, everything. Because if you don't have discipline between fights like Gervonta, it's going to be issues. Weight cuts, everybody, are a beast. Weight cuts will absolutely fuck a person up mentally. One day you on track doing training and you hit a plateau and your mind is all fucked up. You want to go out here and eat a burger, a double burger with cheese, onions on that motherfucker, pickles, throw some coleslaw on that. I'm hungry as shit. I want a motherfucking burger, but you're not supposed to do it. And then they have this system, those of you that's ever cut weight, where you start drying out and you thirsty as fuck. And you basically have to start depleting your water intake, but you're still working out. And you're depleting your water intake, but you're still working out, cutting. So the lack of water, but the more you're working out, you're going to start burning calories and your metabolism is going to speed up and you're going to start dropping pounds. That's fact. I did it. I did it before on more than one occasion. So once you start having a lack of water and you have to go home and you have to suck on an ice cube or something, small ice cube, you have to do something just to keep the glands just a little bit of water on there, because you get dry. And the closer and closer you get, you go from a gallon of water down to a half a gallon, 3 weeks out or whatever. And then you get 2 weeks, you even knock that down. And then once you get a week, you're still cutting, you shaking out. Your diet has dropped. You barely down to nothing a day of water. And then you got to do test weights. You jump on the scale with test weights. 140. You know what I'm saying? 140 is the limit. And you're on 143. You got to lose it. That means it's called shakeout. You got to get out and shake that. You got to go out and lose the weight. And you ain't up there pounding water either. You're dropping fucking weight, test weight. Boom. Okay, we got 2 more to go. What we got? 1. You got to keep on doing it. Once you get down in weight, you have to suffer until it's time to go to the weigh-ins. You have to motherfucking suffer, y'all. You ain't going up here eating. Can I get 2 hot links, please? I want some grits. Yeah, give me some hash too. 2 biscuits. How much I weigh? I'm 1 pound over. Okay, I'll be good. I'll just go out there. I eat this shit. I'm just gonna take a shit later. It ain't that way, y'all. It's not that way. Your ass get up. You go through the night miserable. You get up miserable, and you have to wait for weigh-ins, and then you have to go make weight. It's a beast. So when it comes down to people wanting to be like Floyd Mayweather, make all this money, you got to put in the work to do this shit. You have to put in the work to be the best and live like the best. It's all good to show and tell. Really, to me, all the cars and shit like that, it don't do anything. Like, I've been in some of the biggest houses, right? Look, I seen some mansions, right? And I said, God damn, I just want to go to a part that they ain't living in yet. So I remember going to this part of the mansion of this athlete. I said, can I go upstairs and check it out? I said, yeah, go ahead. So it's like motherfucking 5 rooms on this side and motherfucking 5 rooms on that side. I was like, God damn. So I just knocked on the door. I said, let me go in here. Boom, boom, boom. Open the door. Ain't nothing in that motherfucker. No furniture, no nothing. So I said, okay, that was just probably 1 room. I go in the other room up there. Ain't shit in the motherfucking room except dust balls, y'all. It's crazy, man. The key is knowing how to deal with all that fame and money. True words, man. And you know what happens when you got fame and money, right? You know what come a calling. Somebody put it in the live chat. Come on, I know y'all know. When you got the money, man, what comes first? What's gonna come out the blue first? Drop it in the live chat. I know y'all know what it is, man. What comes out first? Damn, I haven't even been checking this shit. Come on, y'all. What comes in when you get money and you're a high profile figure? What comes first for that money? They can smell it from miles away, y'all. And when they want that money, man, that's the best they ever look. I'm just like, damn, Shawty fine. Shawty fine. Then women come, man. You got to worry about the women too when you get the money. You have to worry about the women because time to get money, you can't just say, well, I'm chilling. I'm going to make smart investments. Yeah, I made smart investments. Ain't nobody thinking about that. If you made pretty good amount of money and you comfortable and your mortgage is not killing you, you're going to go get a ride. You're going to get all this other shit. You're going to go traveling. Plus the women going to be there, the parties, all that shit. It's going to come easy. It's not a bad thing, but goddamn, we don't see some people go. Just think about Dre. Dre is like what 800 million, they say, right? But he's getting divorced after 20-some years, and his wife trying to get half. Look at what's his name? What's the comedian name, man? Damn. Let me try to look him up. This is the dirty part of the game. What's going on, Coco? Shout out to Coco the Don Boxing Channel, man. Make sure y'all check him out for sure. Tracy Morgan. Him and his wife is getting divorced, right? It just goes to show you people, money cannot save a marriage. When it comes down, what love got to do with it? Love ain't got the shit to do with it, dog. Seriously. Now, I know it's some ride-or-die chicks out there that'll stay with you to the end. But Tracy Morgan was in an accident, y'all. His friend died, killed, when that Walmart truck ran into him. And you know what happened when they started having problems? They reached to the point. I mean, Tracy Morgan was showing, his expensive car in his house. His wife want half of the $90 million that he got from being hit in Walmart. That's what love got to do with it. Hold on for a second. Age, I was trying to think about pulling that up. Where are they streaming it from? Where are they streaming it from? Lee said, more money, more problems. Women are crazy. What's going on, Coco? Hey, they butt hurt. Who do their homework. Those people who keep coming in here on the ghost accounts keep on talking about the same thing. The same thing all the time. It's not going to do anything. You're going to do their homework. Do their homework. Go create another account. Go do that homework for me. Oh, it is? No, hold up. Oh, it is Facebook. Sport Wanna. I guess you have to sign up and create an account for that. Oh, that's the ring? That's pretty cool. Mexico still look good, too. Oh, they're actually showing the fights. Okay, cool. Yeah. They was talking about, when I explained to y'all about the relationship of a fighter, this person put in here talking about I was complaining about getting love from fighters. You can look at my catalog. I ain't complaining about getting love. 50 years old, I mean, come on, do it look like I'm complaining? I'm sitting up here just telling the story. But I know y'all the same butthurt people that's over here from the Russell interview. Y'all coming here with, hey, y'all can come on here with 1,000 accounts. It don't take me but a second to block your ass. So continue. I want you to continue. I want you to do that work, especially on a Friday too. I want you all to create that account and come on here and with some dumb shit. Cool. I do see where the fights are at right now, but you have to log in. I don't think I can stream it on here without it getting shut down. Even though it's not a main network, I think Facebook will shut it down because they got 600 and some people tuned in to this fight right now. And Lolo not fighting right now, but the fights are going on. And for what I'm looking at, if this is the same one, this is outside. Damn, it's nice as shit over there too. The water look all ambient, you know what I'm saying? All you need is some freaking seafood. Bring your girl out there. Set the umbrella up, like 2 or 3 umbrellas. Get the drink. Okay, cool. There you go, Coco. Hey, if anybody else to try to get on here, believe me, you ain't getting on. It's not happening. I ain't talking about those of you in the live chat. I'm talking about the people that I'm not even familiar with. So it's all good. TC up here tomorrow. You're 50? Yeah, man. I mean, it ain't no problem with me. I done said that on most of my lives. I don't go around here fronting. You know what I'm saying? I've lived my life. Believe me. Been all over the world. I ain't got nothing to be mad at, man. God has been good to me. I ain't got nothing to be mad at. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm 50. I'm 50. I'm about to goddamn Monday. I'm signing up for senior citizen discount so I can go to Golden Corral and get the 2 for 1. Shit. I need to start getting some discounts in that motherfucker. Shit's too expensive out here. I think more so tomorrow I'm going to be tuned in to the Top Rank card, of course. Hey, this you, Coco?
Yeah, it's me, World Combat Sports. World Combat Sports!
I appreciate that. Y'all welcome Coco the Don, the boxing channel in the building, man. How you feeling tonight on this Friday?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. How you hearing me right now? I'm on the road.
No, you good.
I'm in my vehicle, so I kind of got the Bluetooth thing going on. Is it good?
No, you clear. You're good.
Okay. Hey, I'm trying to get on that Lolo fight. Is there a way that you could probably drop a link in the private chat for me?
Okay. Cause H dropped it to my IG. So
Okay.
Yeah, he dropped it on my IG. Okay, hold on for a second. I got you. Hold on for a minute. Let me go over here right quick. It's always a second way to get this shit. Yeah, let me go over here right quick and pull this link. Okay. Let me go over here. Yeah, it should be able to work out. I'll drop that link. Yep. I was able to get it. Goddamn Coco thinking. Talking about drop me the link in the private chat. Shit. That's a smart maneuver. That's a smart maneuver. I ain't mad at you. Shit.
Hey man, like there's a lot of trolls and stuff, and I don't want the wrong attention on somebody that we're trying to, show the spotlight on. So,
for sure. There it is right there, man.
Hey, thank you, World Combat Sports. I'm a dip off and I'm a holler at you, but I appreciate you. Thank you. I respect you and I love you, man. Thank you so much.
It's all good, man. Much love to you. And hey, I'm definitely looking forward to chatting up the boxing, man. I don't know what time y'all going live tomorrow, but it's a lot of fights that's popping off tomorrow. So we'll be back on the scene tomorrow, man.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I had to check in with you. I'm happy you're doing all right. And it's a community out here. We're sticking together.
Yeah, for sure. You know what it is, man. We got to, Coco.
All right. Hey, man. I'm a dip out. Thank you, World Combat
Sports. You're welcome anytime, man. Enjoy your weekend, man. You know what it is.
Sure, man. Peace.
All right, peace, man. Castro says, that the Matchroom fights you were talking about? Well, the Matchroom fights, their fight card is pretty light there, Castro. Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, and then, of course, the Katie Taylor fight and Delphine Persoon. Yeah, they're the Matchroom fights. Absolutely. The PBC fight, they showing a replay of Shawn Porter and his weigh-in versus Sebastian Formella. And Shawn Porter's in tremendous shape. I'm telling you, man, Shawn Porter, man, that dude is highly disciplined. He always come in shredded. But that's the PBC's card. It starts tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Shawn Porter versus Sebastian Formella. And then on the co-main, Nathaniel Gallimore versus Sebastian Fundora, the Towering Inferno. And then, of course, we have the top rank card. I'm not gonna lie, they got the heaviest card of the weekend. They was out here first, but what I'm looking at right now, they sitting at 7 fights. I'm not sure all 7 gonna be televised, of course, but yeah, Tucson on there. Ragan got Collard and Maurice Williams. That's gonna be good. I mean, you got Rob Brant back on here too. So yeah, they got a heavy card, man. It's cool. I'm about to dip. I want to talk about the Megan Thee Stallion situation. These women, they want a street dude. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say a thug. That's like old language. You know what I'm saying? They want a street dude, right? Until the street come out the dude. She's talking about, look, your friends, just say you riding, right? And your friends shoot you in the ass. The one thing these street code, it ain't no street code no more. First of all, it's according to where you at. So the street code is, damn, you just shot me in the ass, but I ain't gonna snitch. Look, when somebody shoots you in the ass, you don't know what's gonna happen with the bullet, the round. So listen, Megan Thee Stallion is fine as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Without makeup, she can still get it, right? She's one of the finest. I know why they call her Megan Thee Stallion. She fine as hell. She look cute with no makeup on. She look even better with makeup. It is what it is. But Tory Lanez, I'm saying to myself, look, y'all see these people. Listen to me when I tell you, right? You see these women in person. I'm just going to take it back to the tank fight. You see these women in person, right? Hey, no doubt, Coco. You see these women in person. I'm talking about, oh my goodness, man. Bubble beyond, bubble and beyond. Like for instance, when I'm not even gonna mention that. You see these women in person, they find this shit like how they get these jeans that's small in the waist. These women ain't working out, man. They getting liposuction, man. It ain't no way you can taper your shit like that and come in there and have an ass that big and no stomach, right? So I'm looking at Megan Thee Stallion. She's in this shit with Tory Lanez, right? And this cat squeezes, like this cat sends rounds and shoot her 3 times. And she gets on IG just recently and said, see, I wasn't going to take this to social media. But y'all was already on social media because the police pulled up. Y'all was already out there. So basically you're trying to say, okay, you know a nigga shot you, right? But you're going to stick to the code because you Megan Thee Stallion and you're going to say, I ain't going to snitch. It ain't motherfucking snitch. You got shot. He could have fucked up your whole career. What if he would have shot you a little bit higher and you wasn't able to walk? You're going to go out there and be hard then and say, oh, I don't know who did it, but we found the shell casings in the car. So you didn't hear the gun go off? No, I was bumping my song. Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That shit ain't riding. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't make any sense. That shit doesn't make any sense. As fine as she out here with Tory Lanez, and this cat was just kicked off IG. I ain't gonna lie, his IG lives was jumping during the pandemic. You know, he had females out here stripping and doing everything. But this brother loses his mind and shoot Megan 3 times. And she gets on social media talking about, I wasn't going to bring this to social media. You know, y'all can't call me a snitch. And then this other model from Ecuador is going to get on here. Oh, if you don't fuck with 6ix9ine and you fuck with Megan, you're a snitch. I was like, man, these motherfuckers are delusional, acutely delusional. These motherfuckers are acutely delusional. Believe me when I tell you, like the other day, y'all, listen, it's certain things that a man have to understand about another man. We all cut differently. If you got a motherfucker that's disrespecting you more than once and you done genuinely gave your good graces, it's time to separate. Because obviously they don't respect you as a man. Just like when I see these individuals pulling Tekashi 6ix9ine around in a wagon and they're grown fucking men. So you're trying to tell me the pay that Tekashi is giving you is worth you pulling him around in a wagon and he's sitting in a wagon like he's a fucking kid because he ain't growing no more. And he's just putting on IG. Now, all of a sudden, he said, I'm out here in these streets. Ain't nobody touch me. Ain't nobody touching me. Not yet. Not yet. You ain't seeing what happened to these artists out here? They getting touched. And I'm talking about they was basically higher than you. They getting touched. Anybody can get touched out here. You got cats out here that's, you know, they'll go out here and kill somebody for a sandwich. But 6ix9ine out here, you know, ranting and raving and antagonizing motherfuckers, talking about you can't be touched. Y'all didn't see what happened to Duck. Y'all didn't see what happened to Nip, Pac, Biggie, Pop. It ain't no game out here, man. Like, what the fuck is going on with this dude, man? Somebody just came out with this. You know what? I don't even want to do it, but no, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna give him no airplay. I ain't giving 6ix9ine no shit, bro. All I'm saying is this cat out here being pulled around by a grown fucking man that's 400 pounds. I've seen this dude in person before. He does security for some other athletes. They're toting 6ix9ine around in a wagon while somebody else film it just to put it on social media. I'm saying you have to draw a line as a grown fucking man. Like, people know you security. They're gonna pull up and say, "Hey, man, you was pulling 6ix9ine around in that wagon, man. What the fuck that was? He paying me." It's some niggas don't care. They say, "Okay, I'm getting the bread, I'm getting the bag. I don't fucking care. As long as he pay me, I pull him around in the wagon." And that right there just basically goes against everything. That goes against everything that I stand for, man. Because this dude did what he did. I ain't getting into it, but he chose the life, and now he's out and he's thinking. And you know what? He might get away for a good while. You know, he might get away for a year, 2. But all these hip hop artists is dying. Obviously, he feels he's untouchable. These dudes are gunning cats down in broad daylight. And he's having a cat push him around. I'm done talking about that nigga, man. Always remember, we live in a society of snitches. Always remember that. Motherfuckers think it's cool to snitch right now. Man, some people would do anything for money. Yeah, man, you know how that goes, man. People just sacrifice anything. They don't care. They'll do anything. They'll do any fucking thing for money. They don't care about, their character as a man and how they should be represented to another man. It's people that get on these lives, man, and they live for people to jump on these lives and show them attention. If you got 50, I always tell you, just put it this way. If you got 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you should be a happy person, because if you fire up a live, you should at least, if you really got those true 1,000 subscribers that fuck with you, you should have at least 750 to 800 tuned in. If you got 1,000 subscribers, right? If you got 1,000 subscribers, I want to see 800 people tuned in because they took the time to subscribe to the channel. Now, of course, this social media shit is some people want to tune in to the buffoonery, people that's calling controversy and all that. That's what type of era we live in. And, controversy is what it is. Some of this shit is funny and some of it isn't. She's not going to make me look like a dumb, like I'm violating, I'm going against the code I have, and you're going to treat me like I'm a chump off the street. It ain't got shit to do with 20 years in the Corps. I'm straight out the old school ATL. I ain't come from no goddamn suburbia and all that shit. I've seen a lot in my lifetime. You can't you can be genuine with motherfuckers because you've been in life a little bit longer than them, and you try to teach them, turn them on the game. You try to be nice and all that shit. You just try to be cool. They don't understand it. This generation don't understand it, man. A lot of cats don't respect it. Let me go over here right quick, and then I wanted to drop something before I get up out of here. I want to drop some info before I go up out of here. You already know Jesse Magdaleno declined that fight with Emmanuel Navarrete. They never got a response on the contract. I know he's not all important, but that's boxing news, y'all. And then, of course, when it comes to the UFC, they've already established a light heavyweight. That's what I wanted to say. They already established a light heavyweight championship matchup. It's going to be Dominic Reyes, the last man to step in the ring, step in the cage with John Jones, and Juan Blachowicz. They're going to fight for John Jones' vacant light heavyweight title. Man, it's not an interim. It's for the freaking title. So I'm going to say this for another live because most of this has been about boxing, and I try not to cross thread. But the word is John Jones is going to move up to heavyweight. And Stipe Miocic, who is the current champion, recovering from that fight with DC, he's more than likely going to face Francis Ngannou again. And the winner of that, John Jones, will probably face them. But the big ticket that's coming down the pipe, y'all, I believe it's next week. the big ticket, if you watch mixed martial arts, is going to be Israel Adesanya against Paulo Costa. That's going to be the fight to watch, hands down. Middleweight contention 185. Izzy's going in there to defend his belt against Paulo Costa, a guy who went in there and gave Uriah Hall the business, went in there and defeated Yoel Romero. You know what I'm saying? The same. You look at who did it better. It's always a common opponent. As Adesanya faced Yoel Romero and Paulo Costa faced Yoel Romero, who did it better? I think Paulo Costa did it better. You know what I'm saying? So these two are finally meeting, right? So once again, you got Paulo Costa that balloons up in weight. The man cracked his shirt open because Izzy was saying you are bloated, da-da-da. And Paulo Costa tore his shirt open, and the motherfucker looked like Incredible Hulk. Six-pack, shredded. I don't know how he do it. I don't know if he's goddamn clean or not, y'all. But this dude was sitting out in the stands at the UFC, and he looked big as shit, like he had been drinking motherfucking seltzer water with malt liquor and eating pizza. This dude looked big, and now he's chiseled the fuck up. And then across on the other side is Adesanya. He isn't any better. This motherfucker got pink fucking hair. I don't know why men walk around demasculate, man. I don't know what's the fuck up with that shit. What's with all the color in the hair? When you're a combat specialist, right? He's pretty much saying, okay, I prove to you I can kick ass. So now let me bring out the feminine side. Adesanya went from having blonde hair to pinkish hair. I don't know what it's about, but dude, you're African. That shit doesn't look good on you. That shit doesn't look good on you, period. You're the middleweight champion of the world, man. Why pink hair? Do away with it. Oh, I forgot to talk to y'all about Canelo Alvarez in that Yildirim fight. Look, Castro, I think it was Castro that mentioned it earlier. Castro said some shit about, Canelo and the way he is in the sport, right? And it's a solid point because Castro is fucking up the game. Canelo's fucking up the game, y'all. He was going up to these divisions, picking and choosing who he want to fight. So he actually tried to go up here and submit Abner Yildirim as an opponent to go up there and fight for David Benavidez's vacant title at 168. He actually wanted to submit, y'all. Don't give this nigga no respect anymore. He wanted to goddamn go up here and submit a former sparring partner to compete for the motherfucking 168 title that was stripped from David Benavidez. This is your pound for pound king, Canelo Alvarez, trying to pick up another strap. Can y'all actually fathom if the zone would have said, yeah, we approve of that? Don't give this motherfucker no more respect, man. He's trying to go in with a sparring partner of his to fight for WBC, knowing this motherfucker cannot beat him. He knows that dude cannot beat him. He knows the shit, dog. That's disrespectful for Canelo to even attempt to do that shit. It makes no sense, man. That's a lack of respect. Real talk. That's a lack of respect. But he tried to get Yildirim to be his opposition, just like that's Julio Cesar Chavez fight, where it was signed before they even fought that he was going to face Triple G. It was signed already. It was signed that he was going to face Triple G. It was signed all fucking ready, yo. I can even go back to, I think it was Eric Molina. Joshua Didn't Joshua fight Eric Molina before he fought for the vacant WBA strap, Vladimir Klitschko? Do you actually believe that Eric Molina was going in there to try to defeat Anthony Joshua? See, I'm just running shit through like moment to moment. He had already picked up the IBF title from Charles Martin, and then he goes up there, Eric Molina take a dive in 3 rounds, and he goes in there to fight for the vacant WBA title against Vladimir. Do you think he was going to win? Eric Molina went in there? No. He took a dive just like Charles Martin. 2 dives for Joshua. You think Yildirim think he has a chance to go in there against Canelo? You think Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. went in there knowing that the Triple G fight was signed? He was going to go in there and win? No, he went in there and got punished because he cashed out. And then he's walking around in motherfucking Daisy Dukes with goddamn pink and blue, sky blue hair with heels on, doing TikTok videos. And lastly, but not least, before I bounce y'all, I don't know if you heard, but Oscar De La Hoya is talking about making a return at 47. 6th division champion Oscar De La Hoya. He's talking about making a return. While Roy Jones is arguing litigation threats for Mike Tyson for pushing the fight date 2 months out. That means he has to continue training. I know where Roy Jones going with it. I appreciate him standing in square. Look, Roy Jones is saying like, dude, I'm too old. You want me to go train for another 2 months? Who's paying for this shit? You got to compensate me. Smart man. Then you have to look at Oscar De La Hoya. He puts out a video with a baseball cap on jump roping. Who cares about jump roping? You can jump rope all day long. But when your ass start moving around that ring, that's where shit get real different. And I want y'all to understand before I roll, man. When y'all call these fighters bums, right? Please understand what you're doing. These fighters going in here putting their life on the line. They're sacrificing. And yeah, you're right. It's some fighters out here that's absolutely bubble gum. Real talk, y'all. It's some fighters out here that's absolutely bubble gum. Nice and chewy. But you got fighters out here that was on the highest level under the brightest lights, man, and they dead ass broke. You have fighters like Oscar De La Hoya that's a part of Golden Boy Promotions, and he's coming back to say that he ain't doing the exhibition bout. He's fighting for real. That's troubling. That's troubling. Because this motherfucker about to get fucked up. If De La Hoya make it to a title shot at his age, I'm not saying it can't be done, but goddamn it, De La Hoya is not B-Hop. Goddamn it, De La Hoya is not freaking George Foreman. This cat ain't Archie Moore. This cat has been out of the sport forever. And he's talking about, I'm returning to the sport of boxing, and I ain't doing the exhibition bout. I'm doing it for real. So David and Callum did as well. Well, hold up. Why is this shit? Oh, here we go. Let me see if he up yet. No, I don't think he up yet from what I'm looking at. I'm gonna keep it right there. But I thought that they was trying to make a fight with Callum Smith and Canelo Alvarez. And then all of a sudden, chump ass Canelo wanted request to fight Abney Yildirim, a sparring partner of his. Y'all can't respect that. When y'all think of the pound for pound list, think about what Canelo's doing right now. Seriously, that's a bitch move right there. I'm not gonna lie. What he's doing in the sport of boxing right now, you can't respect that shit. He couldn't have gotten the strap because he had the franchise. he couldn't have gotten the strap because he has a franchise. Absolutely, he can get the strap, man, at 168. Why would he even take the time to go up there and submit a name to compete? TC, I know you mentioned this before, but you need to understand how the franchise title work. The franchise title doesn't mean if you go up or down in weight and you contending for the WBC, what's the purpose of going up there contending for the WBC super title if you got the franchise and it's transparent in all weight classes? He was going up there to fight for the super title. Just like he went up to light heavy. Did he get the title at light heavy? Yes. Did he get the title at super middle? Yes. He didn't reject it. It was denied. It was denied. He didn't reject it. It was denied. He's going to save face, but it was rejected. What Teofimo decides to do, I don't fucking know. Because to see that he's getting an offer of a franchise belt, this is what I would like Teofimo to do. And I said it before. I hope Teofimo, if he does win, I hope he give Devin Haney a shot before he move to 140. That's all I'm saying. I hope the best fight the best. And since he has all the straps, you know what I'm saying? From the WBA, WBO, IBF franchise, I hope he says, you know what? The meetings that I had with Devin Haney in person, us talking about who fucked who up in sparring and all this shit, I really hope that Teofimo give Devin Haney a shot. That's all I'm saying. It would be a good fight. People come see it, and that's what they'll be looking for. One of them will lose an O. It's not going to no draw. Let's get the Oscar versus Vargas rematch. Man, you have to understand like who's in shape to come back and even match. Like what he's talking about, man. Like you just can't come back at that age and get in shape, man. Like, damn, Oscar's only 3 years younger than me. It gets a little bit tougher. If you mentally understand, you know, the nutrition aspect and you've been eating healthy, it'll be a little bit easier. You can always drop weight and come and take a photo and show a six-pack. That's easy work. But if you're talking about dropping weight and getting back in the ring, that's different. You have to move around. You have to get your coordination and all this. Man, it's tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. TC say Pernell Whitaker went broke. Pernell Whitaker, absolutely, you're correct. And also, he was on drugs too. So that whenever you have somebody that has a habit, then of course it depletes from your natural income economically. You know what I'm saying? That's like a residual payment, recreational payment that you have to put aside because you have a chemical, you have a drug that's put in your body. And depending on what drug it is, if it's something that's physiologically make you dependent or psychologically dependent. You know what I'm saying? Physiologically dependent is a bit worse than psychological because your body doesn't know what to do when it doesn't have it. It breaks down, it fucks you all up and people go crazy. Lee said Oscar and Mayweather are about to set up a fight. They see that money is out there. BS fight, but Mike gave Oscar some hope. I can't brush that off like it don't make sense. Will Mayweather actually do that shit though? Mayweather's in crazy shape. Will the people actually buy in for Oscar to face Mayweather? Even though both of them are two big names, respectable, you know, they are. They're respectable. But will people buy into Oscar coming back and fight Mayweather? Yeah, you have some people out there that still want Mayweather to get a one on his record. So according to what type of videos Oscar put out, right? that people gonna goddamn latch on to it. People gonna tune in and pay attention. It all depends on what type of videos. If he got Mike Tyson cameraman, what Oscar needs to do is hire Mike Tyson's cameraman, put some clips out there, him hitting the mitts like Tyson, get the people tuned in and say, oh shit, Oscar looking like the Oscar of old. Let's tune in and see this. Let's tune in. He looked good. And then, you know, once he get in shape, you know, let everybody know he's conditioned like Mike Tyson was doing. He was going on freaking the Wrestling Entertainment show, Extreme or whatever. He was going in there ripping off his show, showing people he was in shape. He was putting out the videos. He was doing Shark Week. Mike Tyson was doing all this shit, showing people he's in shape. Okay, cool. How you gonna look in the ring? That's the question. But Oscar versus Mayweather. That would be a good fight, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me see if he up yet. Nope. Oscar versus Mayweather. I wonder, you know, with Mayweather in the game, they'll probably make that fight a PPV, believe it or not. And you know what? Would there be another fight that they'll try to stick? No, they can't stick it on. No, that ain't gonna happen. I was about to say that's another fight they can stick on the card of Jones and Tyson, but Mayweather ain't going for that shit. Mayweather ain't fighting on nobody on the card. Mayweather say you got me twisted. Shit, you see my garages? You see my garages? I didn't get them garages just for fighting on the undercard. I don't care how old I am. I ain't fighting on the damn undercard under Tyson. And him and Tyson don't have that good of a rapport anyway, so I can see where he coming with that. But believe it or not, there, Lee, BS sales. Remember that. BS sales today. BS may not BS didn't go anywhere when I was coming up, but I'm telling you now. BS sales. You want to make a perfect example of how BS sells? Lee, I'll tell you how BS sells. I'll make a perfect example. KSI Logan Paul. Right or wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. KSI Logan Paul. KSI Jake Paul. Let me know if I'm wrong. BS sales, people. How can you put quality boxers that's rising star in the sport? How can you put them on the undercard of KSI Logan Paul? How can you sign a fighter and put them on the undercard where the main event is getting millions and convince them it's okay? How can you put YouTubers who don't have an amateur career, who only train for that one particular fight? How can you put boxers who have put their life into this sport, sacrificing it, amateur fights after amateur, national titles, coming on professional ranks, traveling, doing all that shit? How can you put them on the undercard of KSI Jake Paul, all because they are star YouTubers? How can you do that, man? How can you disrespect them like that? They will forever have that on their record. How can you disrespect them dudes like that when they done put all this work and effort, getting beat up, sparring, injuries, all this shit, and then all of a sudden you put them on a fight card with YouTubers? Hey, Bruce Lee in the building, man. Salute for the chat. I appreciate it. He said, I think May is the only fighter that sells with Oscar. Hey, I'm going to tell you, Lee, you make a good point, man, because I can't sit up here and fade what you just said, because it's possible. Those two have a history. 5 division champ, 6 division champ. Both of them are freaking really legends of the sport, Hall of Famers of the sport. They're doing their own thing. And when it comes down to it, you may be right, man. You might be on to something. Seriously, you might be on to something. They may indeed have some brewing. And what better person to try to plan a fight with Oscar, if that is the case, than the genius himself, Floyd Mayweather. But I'm going to tell you, Oscar is going to have to talk more shit this time. He can't sit up here and let Floyd dog him out. Seriously, he can't let Floyd just dog him out like that. He has to sell the fight. He has to talk some shit. He has to, come back. He has to convince us that he's the new Oscar, not the Oscar that just let motherfuckers dog the shit out of him. And then once you get in the ring, you want to throw a million punches to the body every time y'all in the clinch just to prove that you have cardio. It's going to take more than that, Oscar. But appreciate that, Bruce Lee. Thanks for the donation, man, the live chat. Man, there's so many fights going on regionally. You can freaking tell that boxing is picking up. Man, it is so many fights going on regionally right now. But hey, that's a good thing because I tell you, a month and a half ago, man, this shit was silent. But you get notifications out of everywhere of regional cards that's popping off. But y'all know what it is, man. Turn up and tune in. Appreciate everyone who stopped through today, man. It's going to be on and popping tomorrow. We got a heavy fight week that's coming through. Pass the word, man. Y'all gotta pull up again, man. Y'all got to come support WCS Media, on a consistent basis. Yes, I can not only cover boxing. I'll be doing myself an injustice if I just cover boxing. I definitely have to touch bases on mixed martial arts because that's what I've been following just as much as I follow boxing. Boxing first and mixed martial arts since the inception. You know what I'm saying? So the UFC has a light card tomorrow. You have Pedro Munoz and Frankie, the answer Edgar, and one of my favorite fighters. I'm just trying to convince people. I'm not gonna be able to do it. When you call fighters bum, all these fighters who stand in the sport too damn long. I think Frankie Edgar is in the sport too long right now. He went from 145, now he's down to 35, y'all. I can't say the same for Cody Garbrandt because Cody, he's still young. He went through some tribulations with his stoppages. You know what I'm saying? He went in there and got stopped twice by TJ, who ended up testing positive, but karma is a bitch, ain't it? He gets stopped twice by TJ. TJ drops down and tries to go to flyweight and lift the belt from Cejudo, and Cejudo knocks him out. And then he tests dirty and he's suspended. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Cody is now dropping down to flyweight to go for the title against Davison Figueiredo. So I don't blame him as much for dropping down. But I do blame the Jose Aldos from going from featherweight to 35. I blame the Frankie the Answer Edgar for dropping down. And these dudes has been in the sport for so long, man. And they can't call it quits, man, because it's no essential income, man. Like, fuck. I appreciate that donation there, Bruce Lee. Respect to you. Salute, man. But that's all I got for today, fellas. Hey, y'all turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports always. Share the video, hit the like button. Salute to you. Thanks for dropping in.